Hello, everyone. It's Kellie Day coming to you live from Colorado with artist Laurie Waalkes. From Denver, Laurie is a mixed media painter. She recently retired in education, and she, in the last year, has created an entire body of work, submitted her work into a gallery, and is heading up an art space for 11 artists. Laurie, I'm so excited to share your story. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm delighted to be here.
So I have to say I just never knew your last name was pronounced Walkus until I got your email this morning. I've known you for a year almost.
Well, when you
I thought
look
it
at
was
it, it
Walks.
looks like walks. So I thought you would want to know.
Yes, it's Laurie Walkus. Okay, so Laurie, just give us a little background about yourself.
Okay. So I had a 30-year career here in an urban school district. That career ended last May, almost a year ago. I have two adopted kids who are the light of my life. Um, and had been kind of mm, I would say sampling. I had been sampling classes, art classes, for many years. And it was kind of like a thing to go down to Santa Fe every summer and take a workshop. And from those classes, I learned a lot of strategies that I was spinning my wheels for sure. But personally, as an artist, I was just spinning my wheels and feeling like my work was not saying anything.
Wow.
So I met you.
Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so that was last June when you and I met. And so what was missing from your art that it wasn't saying anything? That all these workshops weren't helping you develop?
Yeah, several things, I think. Um, One thing was that many, many of these instructors kind of tried to steer you towards their aesthetic.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that was intentional. Um, and again, I learned a ton from each class, but I left feeling like my work was really derivative. Also, a lot of it was abstract, and I have found that is less straightforward than I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so, like, I have specific things that I want to reference and say, and I feel like abstract art is so subjective, which is great.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't like it, it's that I felt like I had something that I really wanted to express specifically.
Wow, I love that. And so what led you to finally discovering your voice and what you wanted to express? Because that's a deeper dive than just learning what did you call it? You didn't say techniques, but in
Like
class
strategies,
strategy.
yeah,
Yeah.
techniques, yeah, kind of both. Well, I think that taking part in Transform Your Art provided a structure for me, like a whole lifestyle remodel that was it was just very helpful for me to be intentional, reflective, um, grateful. I think that's a huge one, having an attitude that appreciates what's gone before and what's happening now. So I think just like I said, learning to appreciate my just who raised me, and I think that a lot of the paintings that I make now reference my childhood. I mean, it doesn't necessarily look like it,
I read that on your
Um,
website that you really were starting to appreciate the native plants of Colorado.
right,
And for
right.
those of you who don't know, when Laurie refers to transform your art, that's my art mentoring program. And we take a deep dive into digging out what's important to you and what's unique to you and starting to express that in your art. And I love that you've gone back to your childhood influences from growing up in Colorado. That's so cool.
Yeah, yeah, and spent some years working for the Santa Fe Opera, so I have some desert plants in my body of work, and then I went to school in Southern California, so, um, all of those things, I think people have a relationship with the natural world that they take for granted,
Oh my gosh, I think
and
that's so huge. Go ahead.
well, yeah, I think that that's one way that I learned to express. The other thing that I learned is that you can be very specific because you can paint in layers. Like there can be one layer that's text, and you
Mhm,
know it's there, and then
mhm.
you put your main image on it. Maybe people can see it, maybe they can't, but you know what you're expressing. It may be appreciation, it may be um, some quote about the creative life or taking risks, but you know it's there, and so it informs the whole work as a
Yes,
whole.
yes. And the energy that you put into it is there and conveys that feeling that other humans pick up on when they look at your art, right?
I think so. Yes.
So, Lori, tell us a little bit about back in June when you and I met. I can't believe you've done all this in a year. It's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
But back a year or less than a year ago when we met in June, you had mentioned to me when we first met that you weren't going into your studio. So, what was going on back then um, when you weren't really painting?
Yes. I so I have a mood disorder called bipolar disorder, and the medication for which I am very grateful and which I will always use myself as a personal choice, um, kind of keeps you in the middle. Like I was used to having really inspired, omnipotent highs, but I felt like this medication sacrificed those in order to raise me up from the doldrums, or worse. And I think that that was, well, I know now that that was kind of a story I was telling myself, that there were other factors at work that were making me not know how to speak with my voice. I had just finished this long career, as I said, in education. I was a little bit adrift. Um, so I did truly believe that because I wasn't experiencing those high highs, during which I had been able to really paint very freely in the past, many years past, um, I just believed that that was gone, that vision and that
Wow.
energy and that sort of, like I said, omnipotence. You feel very powerful, and I
Yeah.
just didn't think I was ever going to feel that again.
I just want to thank you so much for sharing that because it's so vulnerable for you to share that. A lot of people feel a lot of shame around the highs and lows that artists experience. And if you guys are out there, please leave us a comment and tell us, as a creative person, you don't have to have a mood disorder to experience the highs and lows that creatives experience. And part of that is because we are very sensitive people and we feel more, which is why it overflows and we want to express it, right? But sometimes it can be very difficult to navigate, and there are highs and there are lows, and you had them to a large enough degree that the medication really helped you. And I think it's important for people to hear that because I know there's many of you out there who probably have experience with this. So, Lori, tell us like how you got past those limiting beliefs that this that you couldn't create when you were feeling more leveled out. It was
Mhm.
like a limiting belief, right? And you
Right, and
discovered this new person that you were moving into, right?
yeah, so, um, at your with your guidance, I developed kind of a morning routine that, includes affirmations, daily affirmations about what I can do and what I deserve and who I am. And it includes, walking my little dog, which has made her very happy,
Yes.
and it's been good, for my health and my stamina. And it includes, like a gratitude ritual, and I think having really intentional, healthy habits, whatever they may look like for, a creative person, helped are helpful. Having those habits is a helpful, means of breaking through barriers, getting to know yourself, understanding your voice. Um, I think the gratitude in particular allowed me to reference, as we've discussed, my
Yeah.
childhood. So, yeah.
So having healthy habits and artist routine um was a very big part of helping you get to know this new side of yourself and embrace that your life wasn't over, right? Is that what you're
Yes.
saying? Is
Yes. I mean, I think that, retirement is grand, but it can be very disorienting, and, I think people might lose steam or lose a sense of identity. If I'm not a teacher, then who am I? That
right.
kind of feeling,
Yeah.
and, you don't have to be lost, you can have a whole new life.
You can have a whole new life. That's such a great quote. You don't have to be lost. You can have a whole new life. But in all seriousness, it is very difficult for us humans to make a big shift in our life, and retirement is one of them. Becoming a mother
Yes.
or starting a career or our other ones. But we have to like relearn how to sink into this person that we're becoming, and it is disorienting. And you
Yes.
mentioned that having a structure helped you and a morning routine and all of that. And now tell us where your art is now. I mean, give us the juicy details about all that's going on.
Um, so as I started your mentorship program, I just kind of said to myself, if not now, when? So there were risks that I decided to go out and take. I decided to try to get some pieces into a juried show. I decided to go and talk to this gallery owner that was just opening up. Um, I just, I think what I did was act like I was confident. I mean, I had to like put on the mask and go in and say, I see you're opening a gallery and I want to show you my work. And so those actions, those risks really were rewarded. I am pretty consistently in juried shows in about five. I've been in 5 or 6 galleries, I guess.
Mhm.
And I'm going to be at a summer festival several weekends here in the metro area and another opportunity down in Colorado Springs. I do have my colleague at the gallery, and as you mentioned earlier, I'm going to start managing 11 spaces, art spaces,
Yeah,
studios, where my studio is. And
fantastic.
I believe that if you just take action, you make a decision and you move forward with it, that you either the opportunities were there and you are seeing them now and seizing them, or you're manifesting them. Somehow things fall into place. And so I shared with you earlier a quote that I believe it says, whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now.
Yes, 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 yes. I love this so much. And Laurie and I were talking about this before we got on the phone. We both believe in risk taking and taking action on your dreams. And it's scary to do that, isn't it? Sometimes.
Yes.
You know, you put yourself out there, you're vulnerable, you spend money, you might, you know, you might get you might get laughed at, or someone might say they don't like your art. It's scary. But Laurie, like, what is the difference between staying where you were and not having your art in your life fully, and now fully living your life as an artist? What's the difference?
I think, well, I think one of the things that made the difference was having a phone call with you in which you helped me peel back the layers until I was at the very center. And you said, well, what is so scary? And I said, well, maybe I'm not a real artist. And I think just voicing that and how ridiculous it sounds now it sounds ridiculous, but that was inside me. And, it came out and I started to think about it. And now I am self-actualized. I mean, I was like, I have this potential. I think I want to say something. I've never been somebody who walked around feeling unsuccessful at anything I tried. And so for art to be sort of this spinning wheels and not really gaining any traction, was, of course, frustrating. And now I just feel like I seek out and find other creative people, and we're able to, form a community that gives each other feedback, gives each other support. Your community that you have built of creatives is indispensable.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So I hope you all heard that. Thank you. People are leaving comments. Hi, Susie. This is the difference between fully living and living. I mean, living in fear basically is really deciding that you want to be who you want to be, express what you want to be. And that takes taking action and taking steps forward on your dream. And it is scary. And if you have a creative calling and you're out there listening to this, I just want you to know you don't have to be a Michelangelo or a Georgia O'Keeffe to be a real artist. If you're creating, you're an artist. If you're waiting, you're a waiter. That's what I always say. I'm saying that to motivate you, not to shame you. It is to fully live, you have to be brave. And Laurie, I just want to congratulate you. Your story is so inspiring. And for all of you out there, I hope that Laurie, her story has touched you and motivated you. If you have art inside you, my superpower is opening you and getting it out of you. And if you want to have a art breakthrough call with me, like Laurie did in June, and talk about art mentoring with me, you can book a call like she did. And I'll give you that link. It's kelliedayart.com/booking. Kellie with an IE, dayart.com/booking. Please don't book a call with me if you're just looking for free information. These are only for women who are ready to be brave, invest in yourself, and fully commit to your art and live your life fully. So, Laurie, can you tell everyone where they can see your art?
I have a website. It's www.lauriewaalkes.com. So That's Laurie, and then WAALKES.com. And I would love to have you come visit.
So come visit Laurie, check out her website, leave a comment if you're inspired by this story. Laurie, thank you so much for being here and sharing. I feel like things you said today were very important and are gonna really help some people out there. So thank you so much.
I hope it does help people, and thank you for inviting me. I'm really proud to have your support and have learned from you.
Aw. Well, it was all in you, but you're very welcome. All right, take care. I'll talk to you soon, and thanks everyone. Bye.